Hello. I'm doing alright.
Hello.
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 How's it going, guys?
Yeah, not too bad.
Going alright.
Alright, we'll get underway in just a moment. The music is very epic, Jade, but oh my
Yeah.
goodness, it is...
So I always turn it down before we start.
I know. I'm sorry, I'm so paranoid. Thank you. But yes, let's see what's going on today.
Do tell.
Do tell. Alright, so hello everyone, thanks for coming out for Thursday's Asylum development stream. Of course, we have the one and the only Jade77 on for today. He does a lot of furniture work for us. He's done a lot of work with the apartments too. And yeah, we will have him on again. The last time we saw him, he was working on a shank out of a toothbrush, which is quite interesting to see the process behind that. For those of you who are unaware, we do have the next planned Insider. We don't have a date for it, but it will be regarding the prison system and identity. So John will be writing up an article detailing the sort of things that you'll see within prison, within identity, and some interactions around that. He had some of his artists signed like criminal-related, prison-related things. That's why that you saw Jade working on the shank last time. Oh, there we go. Dang, you gotta get me that image. I'll put it up on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll say sorry, I forgot to show you.
No, it's fine. So there we see a very sharp-looking toothbrush, looking pristine. I believe Umat has also been assigned some shanks, and we might even get to see a prison uniform, like the traditional orange attire, in the next Insider. So be on the lookout for that. We don't have a date for that just yet, but any news I get, I will most certainly share with you guys. Of course, as every introduction, I would also like to thank the moderators for showing up. We have Lightbringer in the call. He's just idling right now, but you heard him earlier. And he'll also be in the Twitch chat hanging out, answering questions much faster than I can, that's for sure. But yeah, that's an interesting blues environment you have there. Jade, what is this?
This is what I'm working on. Obviously, I've been bug fixing the last couple of days, so I've smashed all them now.
Yes, thank you.
So all of them are fixed. We might for the art side of things, hopefully. So yeah, I've just gone through and smashed a load of that. Learning the engine as I go, as I'm not really used to the engine. But one of the things I need to do now is obviously the collision. Now, however good Unreal Engine is, I know I can, so for example, this bed here. Let me go to where I'm actually meant to be working on here. So I just need to go through my objects and either make collision for them, which it's not time consuming, it's not that long, but it obviously needs doing, as the engine doesn't like doing it.
No, thank you. That actually leads me into the next topic. So I pinned this to the top of the town square section on the forums. I also put it in the announcements on Discord, and I tweeted it out earlier, which I'll get into that tweet later. But basically, I'm just going to summon my little message here. So as we continue our shift towards programming, we'll actually be removing the Tuesday art stream from our weekly schedule. Our Thursday Asylum Development Hour will remain unchanged, so that's the one right here. You can still swing by Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time to catch our artists live. But it's kind of as Jade just described. So our artists have started hopping into the engine to help fix furniture and apartment-related issues that have arisen during the final testing phase of this last task. For those unaware, as I'd like to explain this every stream, the final task necessary for Town Square's launch involves the integration between the housing system and our UI. So this involves things such as being able to accurately decorate and customize apartment interiors while having the user interface accurately reflect and basically reflect the changes made by the player. The housing system is one of Identity's more complex systems, and the artists have been helping out where possible. Of course, like last time, I kept talking about that darn round Automan colored bed frame, and Mark and Jade managed to fix it up for us. But basically, I know, Jade, I've seen you way more active on Reich. You've been fixing a lot of bugs and making some quality of life improvements where you can. Of course, while the artists lack a background in coding, they're very familiar with the Unreal Engine now, and they are capable of assisting in a few different areas. Jade especially, because he's worked on the apartment, so if there's like a material ID not set, something, or something similar to that, he can actually lend a hand in that area. So they'll be more focused on implementing fixes and making those quality of life changes for Town Square, rather than working on new assignments for now. So we're all giving it 110%, and we can't wait until Town Square releases. We're just having them help out where they can with the development. And that being said, we will eventually, when Town Square is out, like I'm sure we will be streaming a lot of us playing with the community. But for now, the art streams anyways, you'll see them just be on Thursdays, just so they have more time to focus on these kind of bug fixing tasks. Um, and yeah, so there's that. To go into the tweet from earlier, I did finally get more media up. The last two significant tweets were about the Steam key claiming thing, and before that, the Identity QG interview. So I apologize for not getting new pictures up, but I'll throw the newest one down to the chat. So basically, Umut did recently some, as they call it, choker necklaces. I'm not too sure if that's the official terminology, but they're the ones that you wear just around the neck. They don't dangle. They look really good. So more great clothing work by Umut. Really happy with them. He's done so much stuff, clothing related. Like I've had a great amount of media to post, and his work is just really cool. Same with yours, Jade. I can't wait to post that toothbrush. Sounds weird saying that, like, oh, I can't wait to post this, simple item. But no, you did. I really like how you did the bristles, and the fact
Yeah.
that
I just
you made
haven't.
it a weapon.
I haven't done anything like modelling wise. I've just been doing. Do you know what I mean? That's the only modelling I've done in weeks. Really, I think. Apart from I've just been doing this sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. But apart from that, I think that's about all the housekeeping items we have for today. I did get a few of the questions from the previous stream answered, so I'll get into those, and then after that, I'll see what I can answer from the chat. I'm just trying to recall. I've been doing a lot of account support today. If anyone's having issues getting their password reset, I've alerted the guys in the office. There might be one more change that they have to make to that. So sit tight. We're definitely looking into it. And yeah, I believe that's about it. So while I get my notes out from the previous stream, I would like to ask again, Jay, just because I don't know, I might not have been paying full attention, but the work you're doing today, is this texture ID stuff? Is this
Collision.
Oh, collision.
Yeah,
Nice.
purely collision.
It's good to make sure that our objects have the correct boundaries in place. So
Well, as you can see now, obviously with the green line, a player will be able to actually jump on the bed. Do you know what I mean? Where before, like for example, this king size, if I turn the collision on, you can see the green light. It just finds the quickest way, but to keep it in the convex, So a player wouldn't be able to jump on there. If he managed to jump up to here and then jump up there,
I see.
the player would be standing here. Yeah. So obviously, I don't know if that would affect with an animation, if for sitting on the bed and stuff like that. But it is what it is.
No, that's cool. I don't think that we've actually seen people assign collision before on stream either. This is kind of
well.
Cool.
Obviously, I've been working on the town square all day, so I can't really show
Yeah.
you.
No, it's good. I mean, this just reinforces what I said earlier. We're all hands on deck to try and get this final task done, and instead of giving the artists more new tasks that we could use in the future regarding, like, we saw a really nice furniture logo design by Mark the other day. Your shank will be most certainly seen in the Insider, but just being able to help in the engine in little places where you can is super helpful in case that we discover, oh hey, the collision on this object isn't quite 100%, because the testing task involves a lot of stuff regarding the housing system. If I look over my shoulder right now, like Cyber's been doing a lot of furniture placing and a bunch of different apartments, making sure things are working. So he himself has been dealing with like he's gone through so much of the furniture pieces we've had in this game, and the amount of clothing pieces too is really insane.
Yeah.
Holy cow! And it's nice. It's nice that we'll have such customization available to the players. Okay, so I'll go into the oh, just broke my pen. So last stream we had a few cool questions. I don't know if I got down the names from the users, but someone did ask if there are any plans to include bows into the full game or crossbow type weapons. And when I asked John today, just before we went live, he said it's something that would be cool to have. John actually does archery himself, which I was really surprised to hear. That's awesome. But it's not a priority for the game. It would be pretty low. So for now, we're just focusing on the weapons that we've really committed to, like, you know, the different kinds of guns, the boxing gloves for close range without being able to kill your opponents. Of course, we see these shanks. I'm sure that they will come into play. John, once again, will go into the details regarding the prison system and things like that in the next Identity Insider. But for bows and crossbows, it would be cool, but John said it'd be a low priority. He's not too sure yet. The next question was, how close will Turtle Beach resemble Myrtle Beach? So the main locations and identities full world map will be Roseport, Ash Hill, and Turtle Beach. And a lot of identity takes inspiration from the Carolinas and the United States. And let me go through here. It'll appear similar to the concept art. It will certainly be in the style of Myrtle Beach. It won't be too big of a city. It'll actually be like the smallest of those 3 locations I mentioned earlier. And you know, it's like, as I said, the concept art, the pier with the little amusement park. That's what you can kind of expect. In terms of, someone asked about campsites or tents. So when I talked to John about this, he said in Altus Life, tents were like these public temporary storage units. Like if you were out hunting, you could just put a bunch of stuff inside your tent. And people were wondering if maybe we'll see something like that in this game. John said potentially. He did say, however, if tents come into play in the game, they won't be things you go inside to sleep in. Like they won't be livable units like apartments or whatever. They'll just be these little storage units if we do introduce them into the game. He's not too sure yet, but that's how they function in Altus Life. Porting that same functionality up to Identity wouldn't be too bad, but he's still thinking about it. The next question was from Vamp Evil, cool name. Someone's asking about moderation in Town Square. And basically how you'll go about reporting players. So there will be a report system. It'll mostly be manual, so we'll mostly be reviewing cases on a case-by-case basis. We'll have moderators online, walking around, helping make sure things are civil. But at least for the beginning of Town Square, it'll mostly be manual moderation. You'll still have options to mute other players. You can make them invisible in the cinema if they're trying to block the screen and harassing you, which is cool. I'm glad that we have those options available. But in terms of moderation, it'll mostly be a manual system. 2 more questions, then I'll get into the chat. Someone asked, how will you go about claiming these vanity items? As you know that we have on this shop, we have like the vanity phone number, so you can make your own phone number. We have the custom t-shirt graphic, we have the custom license plate, and we have, I believe those might be the 3, there might be one more I'm missing. But for the vanity items, you'll be claiming those in the game. There will be an interface that'll ask you, hey, what file do you want to import? What number do you want? So on and so forth. So most of that process will take place when you're actually inside the game, not on the website. And yeah, there's one more. Someone was asking when we can see maybe more payment options added to the shop on the website. The developers are definitely looking into it. But right now it looks like that we'll just have PayPal for the next little while. Once again, we don't want to remove the packages we have up there until we actually have more payment options implemented, because we feel it would be unfair to those who have the money now that just can't use PayPal. So we'll likely keep the packages up as they are for 1 week after we introduce new payment options. And I believe that's about it for the questions I had from last stream. Great stuff by you guys always. great to have that kind of interaction, and I'm glad I can walk into John's office and ask him these things. It's really cool. So hope you guys are all having a great day. It's already almost 4:15 over here, of course, in Canada land, where Jade is. It's what, 9:15? A little late.
Yeah, I worked till 2:30 last night. Like 12 hours, and then today I've done nearly 11, so it'll be like nearly 12 hours by the time I'm finished.
Dang, man. Make sure to get some rest. 12-hour days. Woof.
Yeah, I'm shattered.
Good stuff. Yeah, you know, we're approaching the fall season over here. Slowly but surely. Cooling down, and let me jump into the Twitch chat. Hello, everyone. Yes, Wilson Plays. I think I saw your message on Discord. I think Harry Grenade referenced you to me about giving away a beta. We have done giveaways in the past. I don't think the gifting feature is enabled right now on the site. Correct me if I'm wrong, but because we had some issues when the site first launched, it's still in this state of testing. But if you would want to do something like that for a future stream, I'm sure Jade wouldn't mind. That actually be super nice of you.
That's why John don't come in no more. If he knows I'm streaming, I'll bully him into doing a giveaway.
Yes, this has happened before. I believe around Christmas we gave away a VIP and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes you'll pop in and there will be a giveaway. If you do want to talk later or tomorrow, I'll see what I can do to arrange something for you. But as it stands right now, I don't think the gifting feature is 100%, so it would have to be a manual kind of process.
Sean said he might pop in today.
Yeah, he's been busy too. I don't even like being an art director, making sure everyone is, you know, organized. I mean, he's also recording footage for the video that we'll be having. I should explain that too. So, if you guys haven't heard just yet, one of the last times I had Jan on stream, and during the end of the last gameplay stream, there was reference to a video that we want to have on our Steam page when it goes public. We need something that better encapsulates, can't speak today, encapsulates what Town Square is all about. If we put up our Steam page and we link the Crime and Punishment video, that's more for the full game. That's not really what the module is about exclusively. So we've been recording footage of little features around Town Square, people playing the game pretty much, and we will be editing something together fairly shortly. There's still a few more things that we want to try and get recorded. I believe specifically some shots for the art gallery. We just haven't had time to do that today. But Smotown does anything from making sure people are getting their tasks and checking them in. He does a lot of the stuff you see Jade doing too on his own. He has Maya and things like that. He's been the cameraman for this upcoming video. He does a lot of stuff too. So he's busy. I mean, maybe he'll pop in later, hopefully, but it's all good if he's not. You guys got Jade here. Coolest guy. Yeah, scrolling down. Sorry for those tangents. I always get carried away. Any idea when you will return to streaming on your own, Jade? I know you're working on a lot of stuff that you probably can't show right now within the Town Square because you're bug fixing, but...
I would have done it a couple of days ago, and today, and I've been working in Town Square, so there'll be nothing to show. There'll just be a blank screen. I won't be able to work on my main monitor, so yeah. That's one of the main reasons. Yeah.
Soon though, we
it is soon. Yeah, I just once this main push gets out of the way, and I can then start moving on to doing more stuff for the next module.
Ooh, yeah, that'll be interesting. I know that you've been really excited to maybe perhaps take a shot at a vehicle in the future. I'd love to watch.
Yeah, I just want to do a bit more.
Yeah. Cool. Scrolling down. In terms of if you can brush your teeth in this game, I don't actually know. The one that Jade was modeling was weaponized. It was very sharp at the tip, something that you would expect to see in a prison that maybe is not so friendly. But John will most certainly go into detail about the prison system and what you can expect in the next Identity Insider. And I will most certainly let you guys know when he plans to get that up. I mean, still no date for it, but he does want to get them out way more frequently because not only is it cool to read, it's also great to have more sections on our website that detail the kind of things you will expect to see in the full game. More information is always good. I have a question in chat. Will Town Square come out soon? It really depends on this final task. As I've explained it before, but I'm happy to do it again. It does involve the integration between the UI and the housing system. This involves pretty much just making sure. I had a little script I wrote for myself earlier because I always don't want to botch the things that programmers tell me. So for example, it involves things such as like being able to accurately decorate and customize apartment interiors while having the user interface accurately reflect the proper changes made by the player. The housing system is a pretty complex part of the game, as Cyber put it. There's a bunch of endpoints that you have to connect to properly with the UI, and if there's any issues, you usually have to retest a significant number of the system to make sure that nothing went wrong anywhere. And sometimes implementing fixes spawn even more bugs. It's definitely one of the deeper isn't the right word. I guess just I'll stick with complex. It's definitely one of the bigger areas. Features within Town Square. That's a good word. And yeah, I mean, they're working on it right now as we speak, and when that is good to go, we can focus on getting the game or Town Square visible on Steam. As you guys have seen from the tweet earlier in the week, John has enabled us to start claiming our Steam keys, which is great. He was given I think he was given exactly actually 20,000 keys. So if you have the beta access item, you're able to log into your identity profile. You'll go to your profile page. Sorry, I think my mic is a bit too close to me. There we go. And there will be a link option for your Steam account. Doing that will enable you to get a key that'll appear on your identity profile. You throw it into your Steam, and you will have nothing else to really do when the module is ready. It'll just pop up into your Steam library, so don't fret if it doesn't appear visible just yet. We know it's intentionally invisible as it's not quite done yet. We're getting close, and the moment I hear about a date or anything like that, I will be sure to let you guys know, because we're all very antsy for this. I can't wait to have it out and actually start playing with you guys. Yeah, it's dependent on how quickly we can get this final task tested and good to go. Yeah, thank you guys for coming out today again. A lot of people asking about the date. I know, I wish I could give one. I don't know. It's really dependent on how quickly we can finish it up. It's definitely one of the harder tasks for sure. Also because in the previous devlog, in devlog 20, it was discussed that we did end up discovering some issues deeper within the engine. There were some more significant bugs that we wouldn't have found otherwise, actually. And those consumed a large part of our time because we needed to take care of those immediately. Now that all the major stuff has been fixed, the programmers have been back to working on the more minor things with the apartment or the housing system in the UI. But yeah, John only just briefly glazed over it. But I mean, the fact that we did have, I mean, as he mentioned, more significant issues deeper within the engine, those had to be fixed immediately. I believe one was related to database stuff and inventory management. With the housing system and things like that we're testing right now, we do a lot of, like, we fill up our inventories with furniture, we place them, we see what works, we see if something's not quite working up to where we want it to be, and we just do a lot of inventory stuff. And through that testing, we actually found that something wasn't quite adding up correctly. I believe there are a few things, like if you had too many inventory items, some stuff just wouldn't load, so we had to put a cap on that, as well as there was some database stuff regarding the inventory. I don't know a lot of details on this, I'm not one of the programmers, but these were things that were related to the more like fundamental systems within the game, like inventory management, things like that. So I'm glad that they found that stuff. It's fixed now, but it's definitely taken a while on this last task. Sometimes just testing will bring out these more crazier issues, but once again, as he said, I'll actually get him verbatim because I'm in the announcement section on the forums right now. Choosing Deadblock 20. As John said, we've been working on this one for a while, of course, that's very accurate, as there were a couple of significant bugs that we encountered. These bugs were deep in the engine and were showstoppers. Fortunately, we've recently defeated them, which is great news. When we put them behind us, we're now knocking out the remaining minor issues being found by our testers, and things are looking great. Of course, the moderators and I have been hopping on a lot to help test things where we can, and I've been logging a bunch of stuff on Right if there's anything that isn't quite up to par that we feel needs fixing. Of course, Jade here helped finally take care of that round Ottoman fabric furniture on the bed frame. That was driving me nuts. That was a combined effort with Mark and Jade. But like that's, for example, something I would write down, put it up on a project manager. All of the other developers can see it. So I can also assign that task to whoever I want, and they take care of it. I'm not even sure how that happened. I think there was just an item that was duplicated that we ended up, like it was one of your bed frames that was just doubled, and then it had a different fabric on it. So strange.
Yeah, that come from a stream, you said, because Mark was messing around with textures.
Oh, might have been
on a stream, and he was messing around changing the textures on a bed.
I mean,
and that's how it happened.
We did play around in your test area, but by play around, I think we were mostly looking through stuff. I hope he didn't accidentally do something.
So what you meant is playing around by actually messing it up.
I don't. It's fixed now, but as I said, Reich is really good to manage these bugs. I'll put them up on them. I'll assign them to people as well. And you know, if John or Cyber is like, hey, hop on right now, test something for this and that, I will actually get OBS up. I'll record my findings and I'll give it back to them. It's kind of a neat process. It's a lot of back and forth, but it's surprisingly effective. Another rambling. I apologize for that. And yes, just to confirm, is it normal for my game not to be in my library? That is correct. It's still invisible. When you make the, like when you punch in the Steam key, it'll say successful. Identity town square has been associated with your account. That's good to go. I know people have tried to install it and got an error. You can't do that yet. But once we make it visible, it'll be good to go. We just are waiting on this final task. And of course, I don't even know how I missed out on this man. Cyber, of course, is one of the programmers I just mentioned in the Twitch chat. He usually pops in to say hi, and sometimes he listens to us while he does his on the final task. So thanks for stopping in, dude. This guy has a lot of programming knowledge. Great man to speak with. And yeah, thanks for swinging by.
John said usually he was going to have it on his open on his monitor.
Yeah, usually he'll hop in when either something is compiling or loading. So thanks for swinging by, Cyber. Thank you for having the time to swing by. It's great.
Sponsored by Right. Keep your cool.
Oh, someone's asking, there was a discussion the other day about if a player aims their gun at someone, the damage would increase. Is this true? So if you draw a weapon at somebody, your stress is maxed. You take the maximum amount of damage. The person you're pointing your gun towards will have the stress level rise fairly quickly, but you can't just pull out a gun and expect to immediately eviscerate them. Because their stress will still be low enough to survive a few bullet shots. The stress system is there so that you have time to react to something. It's kind of an anti-RDM mechanic. However, what's cool is that if you declare war on an enemy gang, so this was kind of covered in the most recent Insider on gangs and warfare. So if you declare war on an enemy gang and they agree, it has to be a mutual thing, you will always be at max stress to your enemy gang. So anywhere in the world, for the most part, there might still be safe areas that negate this, but for the most part, if you declare war, they can kill you, like you'll be at max stress, and you can kill them rather easily too. They'll be at max stress. So that's interesting. I really like that mechanic with the whole gangs and warfare system. If you guys want to read more, check out the last insider we had. It's both linked on our website and should be in the announcements. It's pretty cool. And of course, on some private servers, if you don't like the stress system, you can totally disable it, and you'll always be taking max damage, which is neat. But the TLDR, if you point a gun at somebody, you will be as vulnerable as you can be, and the person you're pointing your gun at will be as vulnerable as they can be shortly. They will have their stress rise rather quickly, but they will still have enough time to decide, the whole fight or flight kind of thing. When the beta is released, will the Citizen and Founder packages disappear? Well, we will actually still be offering those as time goes on. Once we get new payment options onto the site, the packages you see will disappear after a week. That's the current plan. But you'll always be able to purchase the passport and beta access items. Mostly because we want to keep people being able to hop in and have fun, try out the game, and provide valuable feedback. Because without you guys, it's difficult to make a fun game. We always want to see what the community is thinking, and we'll be taking your feedback as time goes on. So the short answer to that is once Module 1 is out, you'll still be able to purchase Module Access. That's fine. And, oh, hello, we have one of other moderators popping in. Hello, Harry Grenade.
Hey, what's up?
This man has been helping me like crazy today with a lot of different account support issues. This man is just incredible.
Been pretty crazy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, the moderators dedicate their own free time to helping out Asylum, and I really cannot appreciate their work enough. It's crazy. So thanks for stopping by, dude.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so scrolling down. Hope you guys are having a nice day. It's already 4:32, already past the halfway mark. Yeah, I'm so far behind. I apologize. Scrolling down. People talking about the stress system. Thank you for beating me to the punch. How does hand-to-hand combat work? That's a good question. The most familiar area I'm good at describing is with the boxing gloves. The whole melee mechanic will be rather simple. You'll be pressing a key or clicking a button to throw some punches. And if you have the boxing gloves on, you can't actually kill your opponents. You can knock them out temporarily, but you will never have to fear about murdering somebody with a pair of boxing gloves, which is nice. When it comes to the shanks that we've been seeing, I believe John will go more into detail about that when he starts writing up the Prison Insider. I think he's just waiting on a piece of concept that he wants Path to get done regarding the prison. And when that's good to go, he can start to work on getting one out. But there will definitely be melee weapons within the game. Let me go through my giant list of clips because I believe we have discussed something about tasers in the past, and I would love to link that for you. So, one moment. Okay, so taser. Will there be rubber bullets in tasers? This question was asked back on December 12th. And I don't recall if it was Motown or John answering, but definitely you might be interested in this. Ted the Man. Here you go. Oof. I heard a loud whistle, Jade. How's the TV?
I don't know. What you watch? League of Their Own. She's watching.
Ooh. It's not bothering me, just a whistle. That I jumped a little bit.
I caught you off guard with it.
Yeah. Whoa. So good. Okay. This bed's looking cool. So this is still collision, right? Or are you adjusting the...
I'm only doing collision.
Wow. It's a really neat aspect about video games because, like, I'm fascinated by fighting games, and a lot of those games allow you to turn on these collision hitboxes where you'll see where your character is, how big, a bunch of rectangles overlaying your character to see where exactly you're touching, and then you'll be able to see your attacks and how big they are, and just being able to view, pardon me, the collision on objects is it's fascinating because it brings you back to earth with how we're just dealing with ones and zeros in math, right? You're just a big box, and everything else is another box that have that can intersect with each other and have certain things, right? It's crazy.
101 game development. There you go.
But seeing this is neat because I guess we'll know, like, if people wanted to try and break the collision boundaries on your objects, they know where to try jumping.
Yeah. I was testing it earlier, so in the town square, obviously, you've got the what's that building at the back? Is it the actual mayor building?
Oh, as Motown has called it, I believe the courthouse. But that, like, the big area.
And obviously the collision's set for that. So obviously that building has got a porchway that you can go in before obviously you go in the door. I know that's not open yet, but you couldn't even walk in the porchway because obviously the collision. So I made it today so you could actually walk in and you could mess around in the courtyard in that.
That's good. It's good that you caught that collision.
Yeah, I just went around for everything. So
I haven't walked around that area too much, so thanks for catching that.
Yeah, it was. Well, I need you guys to go and test it all now. So.
The fact that we are dealing with rectangles and cylinders, sometimes it is hard to get like the perfect shape around certain objects, and thank you for catching that, because that would have not been fun. If
I just look like a drunk person all day, just like running into
walls.
Yeah.
No, it's smart. I guess that is how you test collision. There's probably also a command you can use to turn on collision.
Oh
maybe.
yeah, there is. But I mean, it's.
You're seeing it from how the player would.
In here, this is what that screen is. That's what this is.
Yeah.
But if you're running around, you're like, oh, what's that? Is that meant to look like that? So that's basically how the collision looks in the thing.
Hey, that's neat. Wow, this looks like, I don't know, some super low poly car box thing.
That's what it is. It's just a collision box. It doesn't need to be, it needs to be as low poly as possible for optimization reasons. But yeah, so that's how you can go around. And obviously, we had issues with the curbs and stuff like that. I've just gone and repaired all that.
Oh yes,
and,
nice.
What was the issue with that? Was it just too high?
When it was modelled, it was just slightly too high, and obviously it'd be so much work just lowering it. So we've done like a little cheat sort of way of like a little ramp.
Nice.
It completely looks normal, but it works, and that's the main thing.
No, that's good. I'm glad you're adding these little touch-ups where needed. I haven't checked out the curb collision forever. I just like jumping.
Well, it'll be in tonight's build. So
nice. Thank you, dude. Now, I'm curious, the way that you're the way that you're adding these collision boxes to these bed frames, near the feet of each bed, there's a slant, and then it goes up to the bed frame at the back. Why are you including the slant? Why don't you just make it a big rectangle or box?
Where's this? Sorry, here.
Yeah, how it like slants up.
I could make this one box.
Okay.
Well, this is one box. That's one box there, but obviously I wanted to put all the beds are different, so it's just easier just to have a few separate boxes. And I didn't need to put these things on the end, but if I had that there and you guys were standing on here, you'd be like, well, my feet are inside, this will be inside your feet. So I don't know, I'll just, me, I said I'm a perfectionist. I want things to look spot on.
It's cool. Yeah, I always
if I wanted to go even in more detail, I would obviously mess around with this to accumulate that, but it's that you start getting a bit silly then.
Yeah, that gets a bit too much of a perfectionist there.
Yeah, That need to go totally crazy. But yeah, there you go. Export King.
No, it's neat. I really like seeing this stuff. Like through so many streams I've had with you and the other artists, we've seen stuff in ZBrush, Maya. We've seen Mark do like the makeup system, how he kind of came to do that for the character creator.
Yeah.
We've seen you know how we put graphics on clothing. We've seen the wallpaper textures. There's a bunch of different things. It's really neat. The whole art side behind making a video game. I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, we have so many objects, like, and you want to make the collision good for them. So
Yeah,
it's
right.
gonna take a while.
Yeah. But then, you know, that's why games don't take overnight to make. Export selections.
Oh, and just to clarify in the chat, if you have the beta access item, you get access to all the modules too. There's a bit of a semantics thing where the modules, we consider them as small playable pieces of identity while you wait for the full game. And then when all the modules are done and complete, we will have a beta, which is basically the full game, just not fully tested. There's still some bugs left. But the beta will have the full game world and way more features. But if you have the beta access item, you get access to everything. So it's not wrong to call the modules beta or alpha. They both kind of work. But what you really need to know that makes, you know, that is the most pertinent to you guys is that if you have that beta access item, you get to play all of the pre-release content we put out, which currently involves Module 1, which is Town Square, Module 2, the SWAT module, Module 3, the racing module, and then the beta. So just to clarify. But yeah, as long as you have that item, the beta access item, you'll get access to all that stuff. Whistle.
You can tell the wife she's scary.
Why not put out the module despite all the bugs? I think it's because the final task, since it involves the housing system, that's something that we've really been promoting since, I mean, the identity inside our own housing. And we had to change our UI back when Scaleform became deprecated. We used to do something called, yeah, it was Autodesk Scaleform, and it was Flash based. But because they stopped updating it, we were like, well, I guess we got to redo the UI in a different language, and we moved over to Coherent GT, I believe. Archer has done some excellent work in that area, but that kind of threw a wrench into our plans. This happened around November of last year, November, December, I think, and that's why right now we're still finding these little things that we have to fix with it, because we did have to change the system. But once that's good to go, we'll definitely let it out. We'll make it public on Steam. I mean, it is a good suggestion. I would be pretty.
What was
okay
the
with
question?
having
To release it with bugs?
Yes.
Well, I've seen it with other games that you've got one chance to impress people.
This is true.
You
The
know,
first impression does.
Why
mean
would
a
we
lot.
show you something that was buggy and everything, and you never played it again? You know, we'd be out of a job. We're trying to create that perfect game for people.
Yeah, we do want Module 1 to be pretty smooth when it launches and to have enough content that'll keep people happy with it. And of course, we'll be having updates to it over time. The two big ones that I always talk about is that we want the shooting range in the basement of the police station to open up at some point so you can try out some guns. And we want the pool table to be interactable so you can shoot some pool with some buddies. And there are other things too. We want to try and get instruments playable. I know that we had a piano. We showed a work in progress version of a piano made by James a while ago. I don't know what the status is on that, but it is something that we do want to get in. Basically, we'll be including stuff to Town Square over time to make it well fun, more fun, to have people try out new features, and we get feedback on that, and to just keep people engaged and coming back for more. But yeah, it would be interesting to release it like now, but I do agree with Jade. We really want the housing system to be exactly as we want it because it's just something that we've been talking about for so long. And if only scale form didn't become deprecated, it would probably not have taken this long. Of course, too, we did discover some more significant bugs while we were testing that area of the game. As I did mention earlier in the stream, Deadblock20, John stated that there were some quote-unquote showstoppers of bugs deeper in the game engine that kind of detracted from our work on the housing and the UI integration. They've been fixed now, which is great, and we're back on track. Is someone using a TiVo in the background? Someone
Yeah,
asked.
my wife is watching telly. She's watching a comedy, so you probably hear her laugh now and again.
Is TiVo a name for like one of those internet sticks, or is TiVo just?
In a way, yeah, it's TiVo from Virgin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like Virgin. Oh, hang on. I was about to export that because I wasn't watching.
Nice, nice.
Let's get ourselves back there.
Buy me some mint cake.
Great.
I mean it about the mint cake.
Once we reach the house by...
Thing is, I mean, I can imagine most people, games development, sort of probably don't like releasing their games even in early development because, you know, they'd rather just obviously release it when it's ready. I would have said. I mean, that would be my point of view. You know, if but the thing is, apart from obviously, you know, your usual Ubisoft, you know, EAs and stuff like that, you've got, you know, there's all these new startups and stuff like that, which are producing some of the better games these days. You know, but we have, you know, people like the indie developers haven't got the capital to sustain a 5-year development without crowdfunding, without people, you know, like yourselves. So, you know, in a way, people are forced, or development teams are forced to release early, or you know, and then go in early development for how long, just so they can carry on developing, which is horrible, really. But you know, if it's every games developer's dream to get a $10 million grant, you know, to start developing a game, it's not reality. Especially these days, you know. I mean, you know, as I said, I've sat in EA's office and they've promised to throw 20, 30 million at you. You know, okay, great. You know, you go away, you start doing it, and you never see the money. It's all rubbish, you know, with these days. So, you know, you get promised this and that, but as I said, you know, crowdfunding is today's gaming development, and I've seen some amazing games come from crowd development, you know, crowdfunded games. So. You know, rambling on.
No, it's okay. I ramble way too much too. Oh, here's a good one, and it's related to your task right now. So you're setting up collision in Maya, right? Would you be able to do that in Unreal? If so, what are the differences?
You can do it in Unreal. So I can go in there now, for example. Excuse me. Doing it in Unreal is tedious and annoying. I mean, even though I've got no snapping on this, I know snapping's on obviously the vertex. If I wanted to adjust it in here, I can do it, but the snapping is like not the same. So it's just, yeah, and obviously I've got no option to undo there. So then, yeah, it's just a pain. So it's just easier for me to do it in Maya and quickly export it. I mean, like I say, I could do it for, say, this duvet, right? So for me now, it's quicker for me to now do it in here, yeah. So if I turn on collision, see, I don't need to do collision for this because that, you know, it's acceptable.
Yeah, pretty much a rectangle.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would probably delete that, and so you know, you could delete that and then just create a box, and that'd be good enough.
Yeah, sufficient.
Yeah. So, and that's what I probably, you know, if I was going to create it in here, I would probably just do that and just bring it down a bit, because it doesn't matter if your feet go slightly inside a duvet because it's a duvet. So yeah, I would do something like that. So you can do it in Unreal, and it's perfectly fine to do it on Unreal.
You're
But
just more
I don't know.
familiar with Maya at this point, right?
Yeah, for me it's just quick and easy, and because I made these beds, I know exactly where the files are, so I can go quickly bang, you know, and I can throw them out really, really nice and quick.
That's true.
I'll do this bed like in here, so, and you'll see what I mean. So
Sure.
delete that one because it only gives you a sphere, capsule, and box, which is a nightmare. So me clicking on a box straight away, I've got to now work with this box. But if you've seen in Maya, I've set it all up already. Once I've made the first original boxes, all I have to do after that is just copy them.
And Maya, can't you just like insert? Can you insert edge loops and like morph it to fit like the object itself too?
No, because it's, you know, if you make the it's conflex and concave on collision, and I think it's concave, convex. I can't remember now. Is bad, and if you try to import it like that, then it would just change it and generate it itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Interesting.
I sound like a professional, don't I? So
I mean,
John's probably sitting there in the background laughing, going,
nah.
"Taught him that today."
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm new
Yeah.
to it. I'm not, you know, I'm not one of these people that I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I'm a professional at Unreal Engine.
no,
I'm
I
completely new to this. I've worked in the Havoc engine, so it's pretty much. I knew roughly what I was doing. I was just like, right, you know, once I'm
I
shown
didn't mean
once,
that
that's
in
it.
a demeaning way at all. I just
That's
mean
all
like
right.
you caught on quick. Like, wow, okay.
Well, yeah, that's
Because it
always
does
been
sound
my
like
way.
you know what you're doing.
I'm always one of these people. I just show me once, and you know, and I'll. Worst case scenario, Google's your friend, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what I've done. You know, so I've learnt most of this myself. I'm self-taught with modelling, so you know, I've got lucky enough. I've got Simon, I've got John, I've got Sean. That you know bits and pieces. Right? So that was made in Unreal Engine. Right, so that's
Nice.
so it's no different. But now, right, so that's that done. So instead of me having that set up already in Maya, I would then have to go onto this one and start it again. Yeah, so I don't have to. It don't take that long. It's just quicker for me, I find, to do it in Maya.
But I really do like appreciate the artists going in and learning this stuff to help make some quality of life changes as well as some things that should be done where it can be done, right? So
You know, I've said to John and you know and Sean and that I want to be more useful. So I don't just want to be a one-trick pony and do. You know, I'm not just a one-trick pony. I know how to do other things, but
Yeah.
you know, I've said to John and stuff like that. You know, I want to help. So let me help get this out quicker. So that's why he said, "Well, do you know how to do that?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." You know, so I went and done all the collision. That's why all the collision bugs have been now stamped out in the last couple of days. And other stuff, you know, obviously texture issues and all the ones that you've been posting up, I've done all them already.
holy cow.
Yeah, so, but, you know, I just wanted to help. You know,
No,
we all want
it's
this game
very
to come
appreciated. Yeah.
out. You know,
Thank
we're,
you.
We're all desperate for this game to come out, so
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
been a
I'm
long time
a little bit
coming.
of help.
We're super excited. Cool. That was a really nice demo on, you know, Collision and Maya and Unreal. Thanks for that. That was actually really cool.
I know I keep saying about getting my streams up and running again, but I did used to have a lot of people come in and ask, you know, about how, and I used to, you know, help teach a lot of people in my
Yeah.
streams and stuff, but I haven't done it in so long. I do apologise. I just
No, dude.
a lot of
you've
stuff
been so
going on.
busy. You know, the family being home for summer is obviously a big thing, and now that they're back at school, you know, maybe some more time, but once again, not everything you're doing to help out right now can be shown on stream. I'm sure John may object to, you know, showing more of Tennis
Well,
Square
yeah,
right
I couldn't have shown that, but
now.
yeah.
But it's cool. It's already 4:54. We've got a few.
Is that
more
it already?
minutes. Yeah, it's time flies, dude.
God.
But yeah, once again, thank you moderators for coming in, helping answer questions. You guys rock. I am almost at the bottom of the stream, or the chat, I should say. Some questions about linking your account, your identity account, your Steam account. I actually ended up adding a little guide underneath John's post when he posted on the forums about the key availability. If you guys are having some issues linking, I have a step-by-step guide. If you're interested, I'll throw that down here. And pretty simple. I mean, for some people, like, they just got into PC gaming. I'm also pretty new. I haven't been PC gaming for even a year yet, actually. I built my first computer right before. Well, I built my computer right before I actually started working for Asylum, and I have a, like, it's not a good computer. It's a Pentium with an RX 460. I tried playing Just Cause 3, and it was a slideshow for the entire game. It was really bad.
Yet you
But
beat
yes,
the game.
I did beat the game eventually. It was like a PowerPoint. But if you want to claim your key, basically you'll go to your profile page on the Identity website. So you'll log in, you'll go to the account tab, and you will see a Steam logo, and it'll say click to link. You'll click that, you'll be greeted to a Steam page. It'll say log in with your Steam. Do as such, and then when you go back to your profile page, there will be a section called Game Access. It'll say your key right there. So you copy paste that, you hop into Steam, and you use it where you would activate a product on Steam. Don't use it in the area where you used to claim gift cards, like the $20 gift card and things like that. It won't work there. It will work if you hit the Games drop-down button on the top left of your Steam page, and you hit activate a product. So if you do that, you can put your key in, then it will say your product activation code has been successfully activated, and then it'll show the game name Identity Town Square. So hopefully that helps to those still curious. We do apologize for the website slowdown back on Tuesday. People were trying to get the information like this, but not only was it just because of increased traffic, but it was actually, apparently, as John told me, we were getting hit by a DDoS. We now have better protection with Cloudflare. If you guys have seen the site recently, you might have been greeted to a 5-second redirect when you first go on the forums or the normal website. It's just to help mitigate that in the future. So we were pretty popular, to say the least, on Tuesday, but the site's been working so much better now. So I'm happy that the information is readily available there. Definitely check out the forums if you guys haven't. The announcement section is where all the devlogs go. Any announcements like the Steam key. And of course, John is mailing stuff out to you guys too if you signed up for the newsletter. Hey, thank you, Injection Flow, for following Jade.
Thank you.
Zombie asks, I don't know if this has been asked already, but is there a time frame for when the packages will go away? Currently, we're looking at 1 week after we get new payment options, but we don't know when we'll be able to get more payment options yet. So for the time being, they will remain the same. We'll give you guys a heads up when we do actually include more payment options other than just PayPal, because we know it's super requested. We definitely want to at least try to get credit card payments accepted without the use of PayPal system, because some people don't have it in their country. Some people simply can't use it for whatever reason. So we know it's important, and we will be looking into that when we can. Right now, I think that the biggest priority, of course, is just Town Square. We have everyone, all hands on deck for that. I mean, as I said, even the CM and the moderators, like me and the mods, have been hopping on to help test stuff where John needs assistance and where Cyber wants us to check something out. I've been assigning stuff. Jade here has now been working on some of the stuff that I've been assigning. So thank you, dude. Yeah, you kind of eliminated it like completely. I'll have to go find more collision things in the apartment stuff.
Yeah, good luck.
But oh, okay. It's a team effort, and I'm glad that we're all synergizing like this, because it really helps. Asylum is a really great team. Small, but really picking up the pace. And of course, always looking for new programmers. Definitely an area that we're putting more focus on. And yeah, we look forward to having more people join the team. Probably do another hiring phase maybe once Town Square is out, because right now if we brought more people on, it might take more resources to actually train them and bring them up to speed to work on it, like before it even, like it would come out before they actually get a chance to get familiar with the systems. Is what I'm trying to say. Probably. I'm not a programmer though. I can't say for certain.
I might learn
But-
that and all in a day. Yeah, wish.
Yeah, dude.
I wish.
And yeah, I hope you guys enjoying your day. It's 4:50, 5 o'clock already. Holy cow! So we're gonna start to wrap things up. One final question: how big is your team? We've been around the 20s, like the low 20s in the past. Right now, because of our shift on programming, our artists are getting less work. So if you don't want to count them working currently, because you haven't seen too many recently, maybe we're about low 20s, high teens. But the guys in the office, as I can riddle them off. Right now we have Cyber, of course. We have Motown, the art director. Cyber's a programmer. John does everything. He works on web stuff. He works on the game business stuff because he's the CEO. We got Mark, of course, and Archer, UI guy. It's a nice little comfy team in here, and maybe we'll get you out sometime, Jade. Be great.
Yeah, hope so. Hope so.
But yeah, I think it's 11 for you right now. It's 10 o'clock over there, right, Jade?
It's 10 o'clock, yeah.
Cool. All right, so that about wraps things up. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Once again, we will be removing the Tuesday streams just to help focus more effort on Town Square. So you won't see us Tuesday, but we'll definitely try and get someone scheduled for Thursday. It's still going to be 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock Eastern time. So same time, same place. And yeah, we will see you then. Any questions I didn't get around to answering, I'll try and get them answered for the next one, or get you guys an answer in between streams at the very least. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and yeah, see you around.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Yep. See you later, guys.
See you later.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.